Hi everyone, Heidi here from Paradise Center for the Arts. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we have happening here at the Paradise, and not really the classes or the shows that we have going on, but some of the other big things that we're tackling right now. Most of you know that we've paid off our mortgage, which is wonderful. We had our celebration in December, and it was wonderful to be able to start 2022 with a completely clean slate. Now, part of what happened when we raised that money is that we raised more than we needed to pay off our mortgage. And so what we've done is we've decided to use those extra funds for some of the things that we need. And the first of those things was acoustic panels. We all know that for a very long time, the acoustics in our auditorium are not fabulous. There are places that you can sit that sometimes you can hear a little bit better if you're going to a theater production, but then maybe that's not the place that you want to sit if you're coming to a live performance. So what we're doing right now is we have contracted with a company and we're having acoustic panels made. And then we're going to use those extra funds that we raised when we did the 100 Club in order to provide those acoustic panels. It's about a $50,000, a little more than $50,000 price tag for us. And we were really excited because we thought that maybe something was going to be happening in the next couple of weeks and we were going to get those installed. And as it turns out, they're having a really difficult time finding the fabric that actually is going to be utilized in order to make those panels. Let me show you. This is the sample of what the fabric is. And now I know it looks like really bright blue, but actually this is almost exactly the same color as the ceiling in the auditorium. Now those acoustic panels are only going to be put up on the ceiling. They're not going to be coming down on the walls. So really, if you don't know they're there, you probably won't even notice them, except that the sound quality is going to be a lot better. So the next thing after that is a digital marquee. Now we've been talking about a digital marquee for a long time because we know that right now we're just limited by the number of letters that we can put up on our marquee, and also the amount of time that it takes and the danger in going up on that ladder and changing that marquee manually. It was cost savings in the beginning of when the Paradise opened, but now that we have a little bit of extra money and we have wonderful donations, we are going to be able to tackle that. And so one of the things that we are doing, and again, that's about a $55,000 price tag. The wonderful thing about this is that we'll not only be able to thank all of the people who donate, all of the businesses or individuals who donate to help us create the digital marquee, but also we're going to be able to let you know not only what show is coming up this coming weekend, but what's going to be happening 2 weeks from now, or what art classes we have, or when is our pottery studio open, all of those kinds of wonderful things. And so we're really excited, even being able to hopefully advertise in other languages. So we want to make sure that we're including all of our community members, and so we're excited to be able to have that as an option. But let me just tell you, we have an incredible gentleman, business owner in our community, who has said that he's going to give us $20,000 in order and as matching funds so that we can raise the money for this digital marquee. To date, we've raised $15,000, so we need another $5,000, and then that $20,000. So we'll be up to $40,000. We only need $5,000 more. And we really want you to know that if you can make a donation that's $20, well, now it's $40. If you can make a donation of $500, now it's $1,000. We really need to be able to make sure that we are staying on track. As soon as we have enough money, I can make the down payment and they can start creating the digital marquee. It takes probably about 10 weeks before it actually would be able to be finished and installed. And so we're still looking at a few months away, but we are really excited. So if you don't want to see me up on a ladder anymore, and I certainly don't want to be up on a ladder, please consider making a donation to that digital marquee fund. And again, we have still $5,000 left of those matching funds. Once we get to that 40, we still are going to need another 15 in order to take care of the cost of that digital marquee. But we know how important that it's going to be for our community. And really, it's going to be such an incredible asset to the Paradise Center for the Arts so that we can advertise not only our shows, but our gallery, artists, and the classes that we have. So the last thing on my list is, well, actually there's 2 more things, but the last physical thing is new seats for our auditorium. If you've come to shows at the Paradise, you know that they're not the most comfortable seats, but again, when the Paradise opened, the people that put this all together tried to be as economical as possible, which is what we've done for all of these years since the doors opened in 2007. Those seats were actually repurposed and refurbished, but they have hard backs and they have hard bottoms to the seats. And so what happens is when those seats are flipped up, as they typically are when you come into the auditorium, that hard back and that hard bottom of that seat, for whoever's not sitting in that seat, or if the seat's not flipped down, that sound is reverberating off that hard surface. One of the things that we're changing up until we can get the new seats is when you come into the theater now, the seats are going to be down, because if there's not a body sitting in the seat, then hopefully some of that extra padding that's on the bottom of the seat will help with that sound quality just a little bit. But I do know that getting new seats is something that a lot of you are interested in. There's a lot of places that I've been. I'm actually part of the Minnesota Presenters Network. I'm the treasurer on their board and have had the opportunity to go to lots of different places. And I tell you, I have theater envy most of the time. Most places have amazingly comfortable seats that, of course, are completely upholstered in order to help with that sound quality. And so I've been talking to some other executive directors and trying to get some ideas of some pricing, and then figuring out which are the best companies to go with in order to try to get those seats. But if you're interested in making a donation toward the seat fund, we certainly would welcome that. Again, all of the donations that we receive here at the Paradise Center for the Arts, we are incredibly grateful for. And we want you to know that we are trying to be as completely fiscally responsible as we can. We want to make sure that we are always on top of what our finances are. The good news is, from the time that I started this position at the end of 2019, we went through this pandemic. Well, we were able to raise $274,000, matched with the money that came from the city of that $250,000, and we were able to pay off our mortgage and have extra money in order to put toward the acoustic panels. Now, with the generosity of this local business owner, we're able to know that we're putting the money toward getting this digital marquee. And so then the next step, of course, is the seats. Our financial situation is really pretty good, and I'm really proud to say that we tightened our belts. We did a lot of things during the pandemic to make sure that we weren't overspending and that we were being very responsible. And because of that, and of course now not having that $5,500 a month payment for our mortgage and line of credit, we are able to do some of the things that we've needed to do in order to make this facility the very best facility possible. Now, the last part of that is an endowment fund. There's a lot of places like ours that really are able to offer amazing productions in their auditorium. For $10,000, they can pay a group, or they can offer an artist that will come in and teach a class that typically charges a little bit more money. And we haven't really been able to do that up until this point. Starting an endowment fund and knowing that we are going to be sustaining for a very long time is something that's really important to us. And so I would ask you to consider remembering the Paradise Center for the Arts in your estate, and asking, of course, your friends and family to do the same thing. We appreciate all of the help that we get from our community members. And I hope that you are staying warm. We're having a little bit of a blizzard today. And just know that the Paradise Center for the Arts is open for you Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, noon to 5, and Saturdays, 10 until 2. You can look for classes and everything that's happening in the auditorium online at paradisecenterforthearts.org, or give us a call, 507-332-7372. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much for all that this community does for the Paradise Center for the Arts. We couldn't do it without you.